it's me, Bussy, and welcome back to my channel. As you get situated and watch this video, make sure to grab your cuppa because we'll be serving the tea hot today. We'll be taking a look at and diving deep into some of the recent online drama between Kimora and her Season 2 Canada's Drag Race sisters, explaining the confusing Adore versus Katya and Trixie situation, and doing a little hot or rot of the reunion of Canada's Drag Race Season 2. First up, True North. On December 8th, Kimora Amor tweeted out, "Disappointed, that's all I am. The pompous, self-centered, egotistical, and just downright crab in the barrel behavior and mentality of multiple members of this cast. The last thing I told y'all was learn from Season 2 of UK. Unify and stand strong," which I do think was a sarcastic joke referencing the whole Ahura versus Veronica Green thing that kicked off Season 3. Anyway, she didn't name any names in this tweet, and several of these Season 1 Canada's Drag Race girls were quick to chime in and ask who she was talking about. Boa replied, "Who?" Juicebox said, "Tell me, OMG." And Kimora replied to them saying, "I promise after I deal with some clots, we will have a powwow. Need to tell some bitch their face first." And then a fan asked her who it was, and she replied, "No, because stupidly, I still love them and want the best for them. And everyone already knows I don't with her." And when fans asked if she could tell us what happened, she said, "There is no use. It's not going to induce change, and the fans will just call me a liar, so damage is done. I just learn and keep on moving." To another fan, she replied, "What hasn't happened is the real question." Interestingly though, this wasn't the first time that she has tweeted about a situation with one of her cast sisters. Back on November 8th, she tweeted, "Sometimes it is better to block a cast member than deal with lies and toxicity. Baby, I don't enjoy getting worked up. Let me keep my peace over here, because when you start lying on my name, I get ignorant." And concerning the timeline of whatever happened by whomever it happened by, she did clarify in another tweet that she seems disappointed in something that happened post-filming. She said, "It is sad that it is tainted, because I left filming feeling so good about myself and all my sisters. Sadly, real personalities come forward, and because the market is so small, everyone wants to be a winner, so we turn cannibalistic." And although she didn't name any names in these tweets, fans have been speculating that it could be Adrianna because the two don't follow each other on social media. But I do know from my experience working in the online space that following or not following somebody doesn't necessarily indicate support or lack thereof with the person in question. However, it does appear that there was indeed some kind of falling out between the two, as evidenced by interviews that YouTuber Too Much Michael did with both of these queens. P.S. Y'all go subscribe to his channel. He's making great Drag Race content, especially if y'all love in-depth queen interviews. And in those interviews with Kimora and Adrianna, he asks each of them who they would shag, marry, K-word. Kimora says this,
"Who would you kill?"
Adrianna. But that's just the truth, and that's what you're gonna get from me, the dead-ass truth.
And Adrianna says this,
"Kill? Not that I have anything, it's just things that happen after.
All in fun.
Things that happen after, it's just Kimora."
So it's clear there's some kind of behind the scenes beef going on between these two sisters. However, until Kimora directly says who her tweets are about, I think it's safer to not speculate on who she could be talking about. Plus, she is apparently not talking about just one queen that did her wrong. In the December 8th tweet, she said multiple cast members. Next up, the Adore, Trixie, and Katya situation. In a now deleted voice clip posted to Twitter at around 3:37 a.m. on December 12th, Adore said this.
"So, I watched a holiday movie that I really enjoyed because I watched with the perspective of a teenager gay human appreciating something that I did not have growing up. But I was on TikTok and then I saw like my fellow Drag Race sisters being like, who is this representing? Oh my god, this is not us. This is not us. You're almost 40, first of all, like stop. Of course it's not representing you. I love you girls, but like, suck a dick."
And the voice clip does seem rather vague at first, but it quickly becomes obvious who she is probably, allegedly, talking about. On December 11th, Netflix posted their newest I Like to Watch featuring Trixie and Katya for the movie Single All the Way. And at the 15-minute and 46-second mark, Trixie says exactly what Adore was quoting her Drag Race sisters as saying. Here's the Adore voice clip.
Who is this representing? Oh my god, this is not us. This is not us.
And here's what Trixie says in that video. So putting 2 and 2 together, it does seem like Adore probably was talking about this YouTube reaction video. And then the very next day, Adore tweeted, "They bought me shots last night and people on here saying I said something. I love Trixie Mattel, bye," which was in response to fans talking to Adore about that voice clip. But she seemingly didn't recall what she had said or even posting the voice clip at all, and when a Twitter user replied to Adore's tweet with a screen recording of that voice clip, she responded, "Adore has retracted this statement." So that's the Adore, Trixie, and Katya situation explained. It's really not that deep. It seems like Adore was just reacting to a video that she saw online, and at the end of the day, Adore is very much allowed to have her opinion on other people's reactions, and Trixie and Katya are allowed to have their opinions on Netflix movies. Now, let's get on to the reunion of Canada's Drag Race Season 2. I've gotta say, it was really nice to see this entire cast back, all looking fabulous. Seriously, props to every single one of them. It's really not even worth hotting and rotting their looks because I would give them all hots, especially Synthia, who I want to go ahead and give the biggest glow up award here. Anyway, let's get into the lip syncs. Our final 4 were challenged to a lip sync battle royale in which they lip synced 2 by 2 until there were only 3 queens left. And yes, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. The pairings were rigorous, girl. We get Gia versus Kendall, the Brat Pack sisters, and Pythia versus Icesis, who've had this like design challenge rivalry going on the whole season, but I wasn't mad about it. I mean, those were the queens that I wanted to see lip sync against each other, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Gia and Kendall lip synced to Rupaul's main event, and I've gotta say it did kind of go exactly as I expected. We've seen Kendall perform the house down boots, mama yes god, all throughout this season. Gia did well though, don't get me wrong, but I do think that she shines a little more when she's performing to music that she doesn't have to do like really tight choreo to. So Kendall takes the win, and Icesis and Pythia lip sync to Born Naked. Firstly, I was really shocked to see Pythia come out in this for her like lip sync for the finale outfit. She has been serving look after memorable look, and then what could be her final look of the whole season is just like a mesh t-shirt? I do agree with the judge's decision though that Icesis won this lip sync. She had more dynamic choreo where Pythia kind of whirled around a lot and looked pretty. That said, I did think Ices's choice to interact with Pythia during the lip sync so much was interesting considering what had just happened with Gia and Kimora. I guess I'm just not personally a big fan of interactions between queens during lip syncs because it kind of always seems to throw one queen off, but the judges didn't seem to have a problem with it today. Which brings us to the losers bracket, for lack of a better term. Pythia and Gia lip sync to Call Me Mother, and oh my god. I've just gotta say, I'm happy that they both made it out alive because that has to be one of the hardest songs to perform, period. The quick pace, the rapping, the choreo that I think it takes to masterfully lip sync a song like this, the sheer quantity of lyrics, nothing about this song is easy. But as for who should have shantaed into the final 3, I'm honestly not sure I could have chosen if I were on the judging panel. On one hand, I can see why they chose Pythia, but on the other, I think there was a very strong argument for Gia. I'd love to know what y'all thought about this one down in the comments below. Anyway, Pythia stays, Gia gives her final Oscars speech, and just like that, we have a final 3. As for who deserves the crown though, just based on track record, Pythia. But I could also see Icesis taking it. And that's not to say I don't think Kendall should be crowned. I just think that Icesis and Pythia have had a stronger showing throughout the competition, and Kendall would have to do something phenomenal to, I think, really throw her hat into the ring here for a win. But who knows? Anything's possible. And I did ask my patrons over on patreon.com/BussyQueen who they think deserves the crown. And they voted for Pythia. Honestly though, I have enjoyed this season so much. I think it's been my favorite of all the Drag Race seasons this year, all 9 or 10 of them. And I want to say thanks to everyone who has tuned in to all of my hot or rods throughout the season. And I want to thank you for watching today's video. I also want to say thanks to my generous patrons who make my channel possible and give a special shout out to. And I want to say thanks to you for watching this video. And I also want to say thanks to my generous patrons who make my channel possible and give a special shout out to Sebastian Wolf, Corrine Adams, Jason Velez, Doriano, Ryan McGuire, Jimothy, Angel, Andy and Brandy, and Laura Osa, who've all just joined my Patreon at the hot tier, and Rocky Stewart, who's just joined my Patreon at the hottest hot tier, and Aliel, Angel, Cyrus, Felicia, Goody P, Hector Simancas, JB, Joseph, Josh Marchant, JP in Dallas, Laura Lisette, Matthew Burns, Matthew, Maxila Wow, Miss F, Neely, Scooby Snacks, Sailor, Stephen, Tom Jaco, Tom Young, Topher, Triton, and Riley, who are all supporting me at my Bussy Queen Collector tier. See y'all later. Love ya. Bye.